My child, I need you to stop everything you are doing, quiet your spirit, and listen to me very closely right now, because there is someone in your life who is far more dangerous than you have ever realized. This is not a warning about a stranger or a distant enemy. This is a warning about a presence that is venomous, deadly, and standing much closer to you than you think. You have felt the unease in your spirit, that subtle shifting in the atmosphere when they are near, but you brushed it off. I am here to tell you that your intuition was not lying to you. There is a snake hiding in plain sight, camouflaged by a smile, disguised by familiar words, and cloaked in a relationship you thought was safe. I do not use that name lightly, my child. I do not call them a snake to be cruel, but because, like a serpent in the grass, they are quietly poisoning everything around you while remaining completely hidden from your suspicion. They are tainting your joy, sowing seeds of doubt in your mind, and draining your energy, all while pretending to be your greatest supporter. You have been asking me for clarity, asking to see the source of the confusion in your life, and today is the day I answer that prayer. This person is the snake in your story, the one who coils around your progress to suffocate it before it can grow. But the question that burns in your heart, the question you are afraid to ask but need to know the answer to, is who is this snake? Who could be capable of such deception? And what have they done specifically to earn such a harsh and heavy name from the heavens? The truth is disturbing, and it is heavy, but it is necessary for your survival and your breakthrough. You must understand that this snake never wanted these words to reach your ears. In fact, they have done everything in their power to keep you distracted, to keep you busy, and to keep you blind to their true nature. They know that the moment you hear my voice and receive this revelation, their power over you will be broken instantly. The reason they don't want you to know, along with everything else I am about to reveal, will shock you to your very core. So, let us begin this journey of uncovering the darkness so that you may walk in the light. It is true, my child. There is a dangerous, venomous, deadly snake operating in the perimeter of your life. I am careful with my words, and I do not give that specific name to just anyone. We are all flawed. We all make mistakes, but the word snake is reserved for rare cases, for special cases where the intent is malicious and the heart is hardened against you. These are souls so dark, so consumed by envy and bitterness, that they carry poison in every single breath they take. The one in your life, the one I am exposing today, is exactly one of them. They deserve every bit of that name, every ounce of the warning I am giving you. To be honest with you, my child, they deserve harsher words. They deserve a harsher branding upon their spirit, more than just the word snake, for what they have plotted against you in secret. I know you can hear the intensity in my voice today. I know you are wondering why I sound like this, why my tone burns with such fire and ferocity. You are used to my gentle whispers, but today I am fierce because your protection requires it. A shepherd does not whisper when a wolf or a snake is attacking the sheep, he roars. That is why I am fierce. But before you ask me, Lord, who is the snake? What have they done to me? I need to tell you something first, because this context matters more than you know. This is the part the snake fears the most. This is the unraveling of their deception. This is the truth they never, ever wanted you to hear, because it destroys the illusion they have built. The snake I am talking about, the one I am going to expose fully in this message, never wanted these words to reach your ears. They counted on your ignorance. They banked on you staying asleep to their schemes. They never wanted this reality to find you, never wanted the light of divine revelation to break through the fog they created. And yet, look at you. Here you are, listening, pressing in, hearing me right now. This very act of listening means their plan is already cracking, the foundation of their lies is already trembling, because if these words have reached you, if you are hearing me right now, then you must stay and you must lock in. Do not scroll past. Do not let a distraction pull you away, and do not let the enemy snatch this seed of truth. I need you to solidify your stance right now. I ask you to pause for a second and leave a comment below saying, "I am listening, Lord," or reveal the snake. By doing this, you are signaling to the spiritual realm that you are awake, alert, and ready to receive the protection that is yours. It pushes back against the darkness that wants this message hidden. You must give me your next few minutes, because that is exactly what this snake does not want. They dread every second you stay with me. They fear every breath you take as my truth unfolds, because with every word, their mask slips further. So lean in close, my child. Don't look away. Don't pause. Don't doubt what your spirit is feeling right now. I'm about to reveal what was hidden in the dark corners of your life. I'm about to show you the face behind the mask, the reality behind the performance. So, let's begin the story of what happened while you were unaware. To tell you the full truth about this snake, I must take you back in time, back just a few hours ago, to a moment that happened while you were going about your day. Yes, my child, because that is when it all began, the escalation of their plan. Picture this scene clearly. This snake was at their own home, locking the doors of their house in a frantic hurry. Their composure was gone. Their hands trembled uncontrollably as they fumbled with the keys. The key jammed in the lock, stubborn and stuck, and for a heartbeat they froze, panic flashing in their eyes. They glanced over their shoulder, eyes darting left and right, nervous, uneasy, terrified that someone might see them leaving in such a state. But time was slipping away like sand through their fingers, and they knew they had somewhere to be. They had a destination that was urgent, a meeting that could not be delayed, and in their arms, held tight against their body, was the object of their mission. A black bag, clutched tight to their chest, as if their very life depended on it. It wasn't just a bag, it was a vessel for something sinister. Something inside that bag was too important to lose, too valuable to their wicked scheme to let go of. Holding that bag with a grip of iron, they stepped out into the streets, leaving the safety of their home behind. The streets stretched before them, grey and busy, but they saw nothing but their goal. They were walking fast, almost running, their eyes flicking to their watch again and again, counting down the minutes. Every second mattered. Every moment lost was a risk they couldn't afford. They moved so quickly, fueled by adrenaline and malice, that they collided with strangers on the sidewalk. One man cursed at them as they shoved past. A woman stumbled as they clipped her shoulder, but the snake didn't care. They didn't even look back to apologize. They pushed forward, their feet quickening with every stride, acting like every step dragged them deeper into a dark secret they couldn't escape. They were driven by a dark compulsion. And then finally they reached it. The place, the destination they had been rushing toward. It wasn't a cafe, it wasn't an office, and it wasn't a home. It was under a bridge, a place where shadows gather and secrets are exchanged. Yes, my child, the location they chose was deliberate, hidden away from the prying eyes of the righteous. It was dark, damp, and echoing with the slow, rhythmic drip of water falling from the heavy stones above, a sound that amplified the tension in the air. This was a place where light struggles to reach, a place where deals are made that are never meant to be spoken of in the day. And there, already waiting in the shadows, stood another figure, leaning casually against the cold graffiti-stained concrete. A thin line of smoke curled lazily from their lips, twisting into the stale air like a serpent itself. This figure had not just arrived. They had been waiting for a long time, their patience wearing thin as the minutes ticked by. 3 cigarettes had already been smoked down to the filter and crushed ruthlessly beneath their heavy boots, leaving black marks on the ground as evidence of their agitation. They checked the time, their eyes scanning the entrance of the underpass, waiting for the delivery that would change everything. The atmosphere was thick with a heavy, suffocating silence, broken only by the distant sound of the city above, oblivious to the betrayal happening below. Then the snake appeared, rounding the corner with a desperate speed. They slowed as they approached, their breath coming in heavy, ragged gasps and their heart pounding against their ribs. Like a trapped bird, the adrenaline of the journey and the weight of what they were carrying had taken their toll. Before the waiting figure could even speak, before they could spit fire about the lateness or demand an explanation for the delay, the snake acted. They didn't want to talk, they just wanted to be done with this treacherous deed. Without a word of greeting, the snake shoved the black bag forward, thrusting it into the space between them. "Here," they whispered, the word coming out almost desperate, breathless and laced with fear. The figure pushed off the wall, their eyes lighting up with a predatory gleam, and grabbed the bag. They snatched it open immediately, hungry to see if the snake had truly delivered what was promised. But who was that person waiting there in the dark? Who was the contact the snake was so eager to please? And more importantly, what was inside that black bag that required such secrecy and urgency? What I am about to tell you regarding the contents of that bag will not just shock you, my child. It will haunt you because of the sheer intimacy of the betrayal. That is exactly what I am revealing next, so you must prepare your heart for the weight of this truth. If you are ready for the final truth, you must stay with me and not let your attention waver now. Give me your last few minutes, because the next words will change everything about how you see the battles you have been fighting. Let's begin the unveiling of this conspiracy. My child, listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal is not only troubling, it is terrifying in its implications. The person waiting under that bridge, the one smoking and pacing, was not a stranger to you. They were not a random passerby, not a drug dealer, and not someone harmless who simply wandered into the dark to hide from the rain. No, the betrayal runs much deeper than tea. Hat. This snake placed the bag directly into the hands of your greatest enemy. Yes, you heard me correctly. It was the very one who has whispered lies about you to anyone who would listen. It was the one who has plotted quietly, brick by brick, dreaming of the day your world would finally fall apart. They have been building this trap for a long time, planning it in secret, layering their strategy night after night while you slept peacefully. And when your enemy opened that bag and peered inside, a transformation came over their face. They smiled. It was not a gentle smile, and it was certainly not a polite one. It was a slow, cold curling of the lips that tasted of absolute victory. Because what they saw inside that bag was exactly the weapon they had been waiting for all this time. It was the missing link, the very thing they needed to strike at you effectively. It was the final piece of their dark plan, the ammunition they lacked until this very moment. Think about that for a moment, my child. What could possibly be inside a simple black bag that could bring such delight to the face of someone who hates you? What could make an enemy smile with such cruel satisfaction? This is why I am speaking to you now, with such fire and urgency, because this moment matters more than you realize. I will not let this secret stay hidden in the dark underpass. I will bring it into the light. I will not let the snake win by operating in the shadows. So breathe, be still, and give me these next moments, because the weapon in that bag is darker than you imagine, and that is what I am revealing next, my child, because you need to know what they are holding against you, because this was no ordinary bag filled with material things. It was not filled with money, it was not filled with stolen jewels, and it wasn't filled with illicit goods. It contained something far more dangerous to your soul. Inside that bag were your secrets. Inside were your weaknesses, the vulnerable parts of yourself you shared in confidence. Every fear you have fought to hide, every insecurity you whispered in a moment of trust was in there. Every mistake you believed was buried forever, every stumble you made on your journey was written down page after page. It was like an open book, a detailed roadmap to your heart, designed to show your enemy exactly where to strike to cause the most pain. And when I watched your enemy clutch those pages, their grip tightening on the paper as if they were strangling a throat, I remembered the words of John 10. The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. That is exactly what the snake wanted to achieve by handing over that bag. They wanted to strip you bare, leaving you with no defenses. They wanted to feed your rival the very truths that could destroy your reputation and your peace. Think of it, my child, and let the gravity of it sink in. Each line on those pages represented a private memory you cherished or regretted. Each word written there was a wound you thought had healed, now being reopened for sport. But they gathered it all, collecting your life like data. Every secret, every scar, every private prayer was catalogued. Because your enemy is not interested in simple harm or a petty argument. They want to break your spirit completely. They want to make you doubt who you are, to make you question your worth, and to silence the voice I placed within you. And the snake knew this. They understood the assignment perfectly. That is why they carried the bag with such care and desperation. That is why their hands trembled at the door, because they understood the power inside those pages. They knew they were carrying power that could crush a soul if unleashed. This was not a random act of carelessness. It was a calculated, cruel betrayal. The identity of the one who carried that bag, the snake who handed your life over to the enemy, must be revealed now, because you cannot fight what you cannot see. That is what I am about to show you. So stay with me, and do not let your spirit turn away from this hard truth. Do not turn away, because the next truth will expose everything and bring the shadows into the light. And once it is spoken, once the name and the face are brought into your awareness, nothing will ever be the same again in your life. My child, you must understand that the snake was not a stranger hiding in the shadows of the unknown. It was not someone distant, removed from your daily life, or someone who had to guess at your vulnerabilities. It was someone you trusted deeply, someone you welcomed with open arms into your sacred spaces. It was someone who looked you in the eyes and smiled with warmth, even as they hid their fangs behind their lips. They mastered the art of deception so well that you never once questioned their loyalty. This was a person who prayed with you, bowing their head alongside yours, pretending to agree with your blessings while secretly plotting your downfall. This was a person who spoke kindness over you when others were watching, crafting an image of support that fooled everyone, including you. They walked beside you when the nights were long and the road was hard, not to help you carry the burden, but to learn exactly how much weight it would take to break you. And yet, despite all that shared history and all that intimacy, they betrayed you when you least expected it. They chose the moment when your guard was down, when you felt safest, to hand over the map of your destruction. Yes, my child, the parallel is ancient and painful, even as Judas betrayed my son with a kiss, using a sign of affection to deliver death. This person betrayed you with a smile. They used the very bond of friendship as the weapon to get close enough to strike. But hear me now, and let this truth settle the storm in your heart. This is where you must not fear, and this is where you must not crumble under the weight of this revelation, because I have already gone before you. I saw the betrayal coming long before they even conceived it in their hearts. I have already stepped into every moment they planned against you, occupying the space between their plot and your destiny. I was there when the deal was made under the bridge, and I was there when the bag was handed over. Do you remember, my child, the times in your past when disaster should have crushed you completely? Do you remember when the wall should have caved in, but instead the impact turned into nothing more than a bruise? Do you recall the time when betrayal should have broken your spirit and left you hopeless, but instead it only delayed you for a season? That was not luck, and that was not your own strength holding you up. That was me. I was your shield then, standing invisible but invincible, and I am your shield now. I saw the strike before it came, sensing the vibration of their malice in the spiritual realm. I heard the hiss of the snake before it reached your ears, and I stood between you and the venom they tried to inject into your life. Yes, the snake has struck. They have made their move and handed over your secrets. But I declare to you today that their venom will not end you. It may sting, it may cause pain, and it may leave a scar, but it will not be fatal to your destiny. Their plan will not prevail because I am the author of your story, not them. What they meant for harm, what they designed to dismantle your life, I will turn into your greatest testimony. I will take the very weapon they formed and reforge it into a tool for your elevation. What they hoped would silence you and make you hide in shame, I will use to lift you higher than you have ever been. Every lie they whispered to your enemy, hoping to tarnish your name, will become the proof of my truth in your life. Every secret they revealed will lose its power to shame you because I will cover you in glory. Every wound they caused, thinking it would be a mortal blow, will shine as the place where my healing begins. They thought they were digging a grave for you, but they were only digging a well from which your resilience will flow. So stand firm, my child, and do not be shaken. Do not let fear take root in your heart because of who they are. The betrayal was real, yes. The pain is real, yes. But so is my power, and my power is infinitely greater than their treachery. I will turn what was meant for your harm into the story of your victory, a story that will inspire others and bring shame to the ones who tried to destroy you. This is not the end of your story, my child. This is not where you fall. This is the beginning of a triumph that no snake, no enemy, and no bag of secrets can stop. The exposure of the snake is not your defeat. It is the catalyst for your next level. My hopeful child, a new door is coming, and it is opening precisely because the old one, the one guarded by snakes, has been shut. I see you there, staring at that closed door, the one where the betrayal happened. You are wondering why it had to slam shut so hard, why the separation had to be so violent. You are wondering why it left such a deep wound in your soul. You are asking why it took so much from you when it closed, leaving you feeling robbed and empty. Some of you are sitting at a closed door right now, a closed door that hurt you deeply. You are staring at the wood, looking at the lock, weeping over the loss of access to people who were never truly for you. Maybe it was a relationship that ended painfully, leaving you questioning your worth, or a job that was taken away unexpectedly, shaking your financial security. Maybe it was a dream that seemed to die on the vine, a door you were absolutely certain would lead to your destiny, but instead led to disappointment and heartbreak. I know how much it hurt. It left you drained, hopeless, and feeling like you had lost a part of yourself. You have been sitting there for so long, staring at that closed door, replaying every moment of what went wrong, wondering if you will ever recover from the rejection, the loss, and the shattered expectations. But I want you to lift your head and know that there is another door. While you have been focused on the door behind you, weeping over the lock that won't turn, I have been busy preparing a door ahead of you. While you have been mourning what closed, crying over the end of a season, I've been creating what is about to open. I'm about to open a brand new door to a place you never thought was possible for you. It is a place full of joy, happiness, and a peace that surpasses all the pain you have endured. You must trust me when I say that this new door leads somewhere so much better than where the old door would have taken you. The old door, the one the snake tried to manipulate, would have led to destruction or mediocrity, but this new door leads to abundance. You are going to look back on this season and actually thank me that the first door closed, because the second door is beyond your wildest dreams. So don't give up while sitting at the closed door. Stop looking backward at the ashes of the past and start looking forward to the beauty of the future. Stop mourning what ended and start celebrating what is beginning right now. Another door is coming, and it will bear much fruit in your life. Your new door is about to swing wide open, my resilient child, and you need to be ready to walk through it. You are entering a new season where everything will start to go your way. Can you feel it? Can you sense that subtle shift in the atmosphere around your life? The winds of change are blowing in your direction, pushing you toward your destiny. What has been working against you all this time is about to start working for you. It is time. Your season of struggle is over. Your time of testing has ended. Your period of preparation in the wilderness is complete. The clock has struck midnight on your difficulty, and the sun is rising on your victory. You have had enough lessons, and you have passed the test. I have taught you everything you needed to know for this next level. You have learned perseverance through the trials that tried to break you. You have discovered strength deep inside that you didn't know you had. You have developed character through the challenges that sharpened you like iron. Class is dismissed. Graduation day is here. You did the work when no one was watching. When others gave up, you kept going. When others complained about the fire, you kept growing in the midst of it. When others made excuses, you made progress. Every step you took in obedience, even when it hurt, was recorded. Every moment you chose faith over fear was seen. Every time you got back up after being knocked down by the enemy, it all counts. You overcame so much. Mountains that looked impossible to climb are now under your feet. Valleys that seemed impossible to cross are now behind you. Giants that appeared impossible to defeat have fallen. You conquered them all through my strength. You believed even when it was hard to believe. You pushed through it all, refusing to let the snake win. You never gave up when everything in you wanted to quit. Now it is your turn to receive in a major way. Your harvest season has arrived. Get ready for a major breakthrough, my strong child. Don't let the heat of this final moment shake you. Stand tall. I see how the intensity is overwhelming you right now. I see how the pressure makes you want to bend. I see how the fire feels like it might consume everything you hold dear. But you are not made of paper that burns easily. You are made of steel that gets stronger under pressure. I am right here turning the tide in your favor. What looks like defeat is actually my setup for your victory. What appears to be working against you is actually working for you. The very forces that seem aligned to destroy you are being redirected by my hand to promote you. That pressure you feel, it is not here to crush you. It is here to push you into a new level of faith, a new level of breakthrough. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Gold is refined in fire. Champions are forged in the heat of battle. This pressure is your promotion disguised as your problem. Start declaring it right now. Thank you, Lord, that I am coming out of this fight better, bolder, and blessed. Don't wait until you see the victory to praise me. Praise me in the process. Thank me in the trial. Worship me in the warfare. You are not just surviving, you are thriving, because I have already written the end of this story, and it is good. The final chapter is already complete in my mind. Your victory is already decided. Your breakthrough is already guaranteed. Your testimony is already written. Stand tall. Your triumph is inevitable. The best is yet to come. If this message has touched your spirit and given you the strength to stand up from that closed door, I ask you to take one final action today. Subscribe to this channel right now. By subscribing, you are joining a community of believers who refuse to give up, who choose faith over fear, and who are stepping into their new season together. Don't miss the next revelation that will guide you through this new door. Leave a comment below declaring, "I am ready for my new door," and seal this promise over your life. You are loved, you are chosen, and you are victorious.